First, this is a historic summit. Never in the history of the United States have we had 50 heads of state from the continent of Africa or any place in the world come together at one time. So it's just been quite an exciting and amazing moment. I also am reminded of all of the work that I have done since the 70s, actually, as it relates to Africa. And when I was in California legislature, I led the effort to establish the first trade office on the continent of Africa, which really helped companies in California begin to understand the really positive kind of development of the continent that their investments would create, but also making money, and they could make profits out of investing in Africa if they did it appropriately. And so I believe that this conference is very important because we see major corporations here, we see African American owned businesses here talking about investing and trading in Africa, which means providing for good paying jobs and enhancing the quality of life for everyone on the continent. What's important is that we not forget that Africa still has a lot of healthcare needs, a lot of issues around education, and still Africa needs development assistance from the United States. We contribute less than 1% in terms of development assistance, and USAID throughout the world. Africa just gets a pittance of that. I authored the legislation, PEPFAR, the AIDS Initiative, the Global Fund, the Orphans and Vulnerable Children Fund, and I don't want to see those funds cut, because we have to make sure that Africa has a healthy population, and we have to make sure that the framework and the foundation for trade and investment continues. And so I'm hopeful that the balance between trade and continuation of U.S. foreign assistance is one that people remember and move out of the conference accepting. Well, I think it's important that American companies understand that they need to look at market share, because I've been to the continent many times, and of course China is there and other countries, and they're the countries that are really beginning to benefit from the trade and business operations and activities on the continent. What I'm hopeful that American companies will understand is that by investing in Africa and on the continent, they should make a commitment to not only make money, because you can make a lot of money on the continent, but also to create opportunities for Africans to work at good paying jobs and to make sure that environmental degradation does not occur as a result of their business activities. Well, at the grassroots level, people need to stay in touch with the Congressional Black Caucus. We have a very strong, assertive, progressive agenda that's domestic and international. We focus on global peace and security. I chair the subcommittee on poverty and opportunity, the task force on poverty, and I'm on the appropriations committee. And so I work to make sure that our tax dollars go to the Caribbean, to Africa, and to other countries in the world that taxpayers care about. And so people throughout the country need to become grassroots lobbyists for those concerns and those issues and funding priorities that they care about.